Welcome to the Optional Practical Training Overview presentation. What is Post-Completion Optional Practical Training, also known as OPT? OPT is 1 year of work authorization in your major field of study. STEM majors can apply for a 2-year extension after 1 year of post-completion OPT is nearing completion. Who is eligible for OPT? Graduates with the following degrees: associates, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate. Please note that students can apply for OPT only once at each degree level. Also, a job offer letter is not required for application. Graduate students can apply after they have passed their prelims and completed all their coursework. OPT and assistantships do not mix. When can you apply for OPT? Your program end date is very important for determining when you can apply. For undergraduate and non-thesis master's students, USCIS can receive your application starting 90 days before grades are posted in your final semester, no later than 60 days after grades are posted in your final semester. So that all said is a 5-month window in which USCIS can receive your application. You might have noticed that the date grades are posted is the same as your program end date. For thesis, master's, and doctoral candidates, it's a little bit different. You need to have completed all of your coursework and passed your preliminary examinations before you are eligible. USCIS can receive your application no more than 90 days before your program end date and no more than 60 days before your program end date, the same as non-thesis and undergraduate students. If you have an assistantship, the program end date is the final day of your assistantship. For students without an assistantship, the program end date can be more flexible. If this is your case, please speak with an international student advisor to find the right program end date for you. So the application process. First, you should submit e-forms to International Student and Scholar Services on My Passport between 100 days prior to your program end date or 45 days after your program end date. Any later than this, and we won't be able to issue you the new I-20 in time to get it to USCIS. Please note that our office is often called ISSS instead of ISSS. Secondly, ISSS will issue you a new I-20 with your OPT recommendation. At this point, your OPT status is in requested status. Students will receive a checklist of what to mail to USCIS from ISSS along with more guidance on next steps. Third, students will physically mail a copy of the new I-20 and other documents on the checklist to USCIS. Tracking on mailing the application is highly recommended, and please note that the application fee is $410. This fee is subject to change, and personal checks are highly recommended. Fourth, the student will receive confirmation of the application's arrival to USCIS with the Form I-797 Notice of Action via snail mail. The I-797 contains the receipt number. The student is welcome to use the ISSS office address if a future address is unknown or if the mailing address is a security risk. Mailing address is indicated on the Form I-765. At this point, the OPT status is pending in SEVIS. Fifth, the student waits patiently for approval. Average wait time is 90 to 110 days, and the longest on record at WSU is 135 days. Please note that the word student is in quotations here because most students have finished their program of study at this time. Some additional information about the application process. The student can check status on the USCIS website with the receipt number. The student will be notified of approval via email if provided on the I-765. The employment counter starts on the date of approval, and the employment authorization document card is mailed out to the student within 1 week of notification. The employment authorization document, also known as an EAD card, is often also called an OPT card. When are you eligible to work? The student can begin working only when the EAD card is physically in their possession and the start date on the EAD card has passed. How do you maintain your status while on OPT? While the student is on OPT, they maintain their F1 visa status, and WSU maintains the SEVIS record as long as the student fulfills the requirements of OPT. The student has 90 days of unemployment, and unemployment days can be used as needed, all at once or in short bursts between employment. All work must be reported to stop the unemployment counter, and any change in employment status must be reported within 10 days. Reporting can be done through My Passport or through the SEVP portal. Also note that unemployment days can be monitored by the student in the SEVP portal. Volunteer work in the student's major field of study does count as work. The student should keep documentation of the nature of the work, the number of hours worked each week, and get this documentation signed by a supervisor or HR representative. What about the STEM OPT extension? Students with a STEM degree can apply for a 24-month extension. The process is very similar to initial post-completion OPT, and students can apply 90 days before the end of their initial post-completion OPT. USCIS needs to receive the application before the last day of initial post-completion OPT. Also note, an automatic 180-day extension is applied once the application is in pending status in SEVIS. Students have a 60-day grace period to stay in the US after the last day of their OPT. Students cannot work during this time. If the student wishes to begin a new program of study, they should begin the program before the 60 days are over. Do you have any additional questions? Please visit our open advising hours, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. You can find the link and more information at ip.intlservices@wsu.edu. Thank you very much and best of luck in your OPT application.